Yo, good morning, happy Friday. So the idea is to continue polish this placement system today. It already looks pretty good, I would say, but we want to indicate, I think we want to replace, I don't know exactly what we're going to do today, but some things I want to do is when we pick this one up, when we place it, we're going to keep the object in question in the hand here. And the object we're placing is just going to be outlined, I think. Something like that. We'll experiment a bit with it. I also want to get rid of... We have some flickering bug. This one. Honestly, I have no idea what the fuck this is. Hmm. We want to be able to rotate the object as well. So that's pretty much the default rotation. But this one, I'm worried the most about this one. Yeah, let's look into this one first. But we're gonna have to print some information here. Like, what is it we actually hit when we get something like this? I don't get it. We get it here as well. Oh, is that so? Doesn't explain this one, but... Offset we're calculating is a bit wrong here. Hmm. We get some extra offset there, but why do we get... we get it here as well. Here it works just fine. Here though, I wonder if hmm. So why do we get this offset here? But a lot of the other... Sometimes we get a bit too big of a offset. Fuck, this is so nice. But sometimes, most of the time it works. But sometimes... That's so fucking weird. Especially on... What I find the weirdest with this is that... Okay, so we have the mouse pointer here, like pretty much right in the edge here. It's this box basket. If we check colliders, we have this one. We're colliding with this one. That's just a box collider located here. That's what we're trying to collide with. I mean, it's not different. We don't have 3 box colliders here, one for each flank. So why... It's literally only this collider we use here. Or is it that we hit this one? No, it shouldn't be. Nor this one, nor this one. How does this make sense? Oh, is it? Wonder if it's when we hit this one. Or actually, we don't have any colliders on those. Let's print some stuff. Very interested to see what these 4 prints in this case. So here, do we have any difference point? It's something with the sweep. Same object. The position. Same position, same normal. But yeah, the hit is quite different. Everything is the same except for this offset we calculate here. This one is the same. Yeah, so it's hit distance, right? Yeah, we have it here. Yo, what's up, Kuma? This hit distance for some reason our sweep test as our sweep test returns widely different results. What's up, Supersonic? Why? Supersonic, what you're working on? We're working on a placement system pretty much. We want to be able to pick up a wide array of stuff, and we want to be able to place them quite freely, actually. So this stool, for instance, we want to be able to place it extremely freely, I would say, even though if we place it here, it will eventually just drop. But we have this little issue where we get a wider offset here for some reason. Yo, what's up, Pronto? Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. It's gonna become real cool eventually. It's pretty cool right now, actually. This feels very good, I would say. Even this. And this. Except for the offset we get sometimes, but yeah. I think it will be cool. Like, we want to be able to place stuff like this as well. Maybe not like that, and not like that. Yeah, we still have some things to figure out here. But like place shovels against the wall and stuff like that. But this one worries me the most. The flickering we see here. What the fuck is different in this sweep test as opposed to this sweep test? This is probably gonna take some time to figure out. We sweep this one. The only thing we want to test against is this one. We have these colliders. Kuma, so the problem right now is that it goes through the gaps and you don't want that, or what's happening. We get a little bit of an offset here. Like, let's see if we can zoom in. If we try to place it, yeah, like it seems like the gaps have something to do with it. which is super weird because the gaps are just visual. The actual collider underneath is just a box. But like, why do we get this offset here, but not here and here? And it's not only the gap, it's like in the middle of this one, I would say. It's something with the sweep test we do. But what? Sweep test, sweep test. So here we do a rigid body, we do a sweep test on a rigid body in a direction. And we forced this game object to be on a specific layer, the same layer as this rigid body currently is. Stool, it's on placement layer currently. Colliders are not though, or these are, but not the parent collider. That's okay. It doesn't matter. The only reason I can see for this is that our RB isn't... We're going to take a look at this one real quick. I'm a little bit worried about this one. Sorry about that, because what we have is a compound collider, but a compound collider actually consists of primitive collider types. So it shouldn't be this. Concave mesh colliders will not work. We don't have a mesh collider. Okay, so no big notes here. So the other thing I can imagine it being is that our dynamic entity, that the position and rotations aren't currently set, but we do set rotation and set position. Both of these set the rotation on the RB and the position of the RB. I think I know. I think I know. We have the origin point here, we have it here. And this is pretty nice, actually. If we try to place this one here, I would like it to appear like this. Okay. So we have we find, or did we have it here? We do a sweep test. Bam, this is where we find the collision. So then the offset is, or the sweep direction is from here to here. And then we offset it by that, but we would like to offset it. Yeah. Offset distance is a... So we would like to, like, we want to offset it like this, but we don't have a sign on the offset, so we offset it backwards instead, pretty much. Because this time around, the offset is on the opposite side of the origin point. So the origin point is here. It works nicely here. So if we would do a sweep test from here to here, then we get this distance and we're on this side of the origin point. Okay, so we just need a sign pretty much here. But this is a vector 3. We can have multiple different. Current point normal normalized. But can we offset distance? I1, yeah, y even current point normal. Yeah, we're always going to get it in a normal. So I think we can do this instead. Offset distance. We actually do have offset here. So instead of having an offset distance at all, we just do offset. Let's try this. Still get it in the wrong direction. How does that make sense? It's the same issue here. This time around, offset. Oh. It's probably this one. Nalini, what's up? Literally most normal code at 10% of coding, 90% of what the fuck I should do. That's how it is. Yeah, hit distance, sweep test, raycast hit. Yo, what's up, Cynic? Happy Friday, man. Yeah, you're here early today. I thought... So this one is signed. We should get this correct direction and length from this. What am I missing? Yo, what's up, Vincent? I love the style of the game. Thank you, appreciate it. Yeah. It's gonna be real pretty. Honestly, this one right here, I don't even know why we do set position here. We don't need to reset the position, we do it here. So we can probably do... Or, no, we get the position here. So that, it matters, it matters. Cynic had the best sleep I've had in a long time yesterday. Slept for 14 hours. Damn. But damn, yeah. Love some good sleep. And thank you for the sub. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. I'm pretty sure this is our culprit here. Point normal, normalized hit distance. Articulation, body, barocentric collider. The impact point in world space where the ray hit the collider. Let's do... Let's try this. But... Nah, that won't work. But... Could this work? Vincent, damn, that ad roll was like 2 minutes. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I just have the default setup for not... for disabling pre-rolls. Dynamic entity set position. Dynamic entity get position minus hit point. Let's try it. Let's brute force this shit. But yeah, I said I appreciate it. I like the style as well. And yeah, it's shaping up to be a pretty game, hopefully. What the fuck? Yeah, okay, I get it. Didn't you hate when you ask a question and then ads start running and you miss the answer? Yeah, that happens quite a lot, actually. Should have a incoming ads timer on screen so people can time their questions better, maybe. But I don't know how it varies between users and stuff like that. Okay, let's think about this one real quick. And then we do a sweep test. And then we pretty much get how far we need to move. So distance here is the distance we traveled before we found a hit during the sweep test. And this works most of the time, but when we get a hit on the quote-unquote wrong side of the origin point, that's when we get an offset in the wrong direction, pretty much. So if the sweep test finds a point on this side of the origin point, we get a perfect result. If it finds on this side of the origin point, then the offset is in the wrong direction. This one is just distance. But that means I don't see anything wrong with this one. If we try and place this one again, so in this case, we find this point, we move this stool 10 units back, then we do a sweep test and we find, and we get this distance, and then we offset it like that. If we would do this sweep test on the one that doesn't work, this one, then we move it back 10 again. This is still the point. We do a sweep test, but we find a collision right about here. So that just basically means that we have a longer hit distance, which we print here, and that's correct. So then we set this position to be equal to point normal minus. Yeah, so we should set the position to be right about here. This position, that is. Then we do the point position we're pointing at. It's this one minus the position, so this one. Here we get it in a negative direction as opposed to this one. Offset still good. So a offset calculation from the point to this one here should give us I don't know what is said. Okay. So we do point position minus. Okay, so an offset here gives us a negative in the Z direction, but an offset here should give us a positive in the Z direction. So then when we do this, we should be getting the correct offset here. What am I missing? Fuck it. Let's debug offset here. Yeah, let's log it. So here, what do we have? An offset of 0, 0, 0, 0.3 on Z. Did I fuck up here? Hmm. Could this be it, actually? My inability to understand the direction of vectors when we create them by subtraction has once again okay, we're gonna animate the offset as well, so we don't get this flickering, but other than that it's fine now. So this is what we want, because if we try to place it here, we actually don't get a collision with any of its legs. So check this one, the leg goes above the collider. Oh, this is beautiful. Maybe a bit too much, honestly. maybe a bit too much. Like this precision, I don't know. If we can get rid of this flickering, it would be beautiful as well. Oh. That's too bad, though. Yeah, this rotation lerping looked better previously. Oops. This one still looks good. I love it. I loved it. Like this is beautiful to me. Like in this case, we would probably want the chair to stop here as well while the mouse pointer continues down. But if we implement that, it would be too weird here. We're just gonna paint it red or something if we have clipping like this. But my question now is, why did this offset lerping, or why did this rotation get screwed up here? No, this is bugged. Let me show you how it looked previously. Previously it looked like oops. I think it was point normal. Current point normal. Previously, I know. I know why it's fucked. Previously, the rotation lerping for the shovel looked like this. I hope. We'll see, we'll see. Like this, and that's way better. And I know why. Okay, so we have to current point normal. This one has to control the offset. We just need a sign on offset distance. What the fuck? So depending on point position, get position. We need to figure out which one of these two are closest to we need a sign on offset distance. That's the whole problem. So we need to figure out which one of these two are closest to this one before we set it, pretty much. Yeah, so maybe we want to fix it inside of here anyway. So yeah, we need to figure out which one of these two are closest to this one, basically. I wonder if this is the best way of doing this, but we do it in another way. We should be able to dot product, shouldn't we? With the point normal. Yes, we should. So I think we can just do mathf sign on mathf dot. Do we have dot here? Or we just do offset dot dot. It is vector 3 dot dot. No, keep it up. Thank you, appreciate it. I will. Unless I die, but hopefully I won't. Mathf sign, and then we want to do the dot product between offset and point normal. And then we time offset magnitude with that. Might need to do a negative sign before here, but let's see if this is it. I think it will be a little bit quicker to just test it like this instead of me going through it in my head. Pick up place. That looks good, but yeah, that looks good. So this is correct. But the big question is, hell yeah, there we go. That's it. That is it. I still wonder if we want to interpolate this offset. We can actually place this like this. That's beautiful. Oops. Damn. Okay, that's nice. Okay, so that's one issue fixed. I wonder if I want to... Ooh, we have one more issue. Yeah, so when we place it, it gets placed. The offset, we place it by current position plus offset. That's not good. Although I want to place. One sec, what happens if pick up, place? So when we start placing it, we get some flickering here as well. Not a big fan of that. So that's two issues. When we place it, I don't want this flickering. And also, like when we actually place it, we don't want the offset taken into account. Action, interaction, place. So what happens when we place it is that we stop processing, cancel interaction. Cancel interaction. Enable rigid body, state, action state available. Yeah, we just unset all of these things, so we might actually get stop processing. Yield return null. We should do this and this one last time. Then we jump back to this. Why do we get the offset as well? That's weird. We do this one last time, and then we do this one last time. Current place point. Do we want to do this one last time? Maybe it's better to do it first. I just want to see if this fixes this issue, because I can't pinpoint where exactly we keep the offset. When we do the final positioning of it. Beautiful. How fucking great is that? Okay, that looks great. We need to properly quit the dropping here as well. But anyway, I hate start placing here. Maybe we'll fix it eventually, but that we get this weird flickering of the object. I wonder why that is. We're going to improve the visuals of the object we place. It's just going to be an outline instead of the actual object. So when we start placing this shovel, he will still hold it, and we will see an outline wherever we place it, right? But I still want to get to the bottom of... When we start placing it, it appears here for one frame. And it's weird as hell. Why is that? I would understand it if this one was located here like it was previously. But with the current setup, with doing the yield return null after we have repositioned it, that's a bit weird. Let's see here, start coroutine, it should start the same frame. So what happens here is update end transform, point collider is equal to no, place no collider. Is that actually what we get? Could it be pick up, place? Nope. That's just when we target the sky. I'm pretty sure. Update end transform. Yes, we do this. And then we do update current transform. Update current transform. Current point dot game object is equal to... Oh, could it be? Could be this, that this one is a null. Huh. or that it is. We don't reset this like ever. So this will only happen the first time. Current point 0, 0, 0. Um, could it be? No, we set it here. Current position. Here we just calculate stuff. This is where we actually set the position. Doesn't it look like it's a position and rotation for just a frame pretty much? So just for one frame, the rotation gets reset and the position. It's the same for this one, right? Yeah, it is. Mm. Whoa, 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 whoa. This one explains the rotation, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, this... Get away. That explains the rotation. Could this explain the position? Or is this actually just a rotation issue? And the rotation makes it appear as if the position gets transformed? Maybe. Yeah, now we don't get the rotation. But we do get something. Do we? I don't think we do. No, I think this is good. And this one we can't pick up just yet. Yeah, we need to cancel drop as well when we click place. Okay, I'm okay with this. Because what I think I want to do now is we want to copy this object. So the object we're holding, I'm a little bit, we're pretty much gonna instantiate a copy of that object. I wonder if we want all bells and whistles. I don't know. We pretty much want to copy this one and then we want to put it on the highlight rendering layer only. And so we make a copy of this one, put it on highlight render layer only, which means that we won't render it how it looks. We will only render the highlight of it. And that's the object we're going to place. I'm going to need to do some changes with that, but I think it's okay. Is that how I want to do it? We could also make, oh, yeah, we're gonna do both things here, I think. In any way, we're gonna create a copy of the object. So my question is, should the character still hold the copy? So we only highlight this, we do a copy object which we put here. So we will have a highlight of the object left in his hand while placing the real object. I think it would look really cool with the highlight still being held here. Same with this one. So we will see a highlight shovel here. That would look really cool. The problem, however, is that I don't like this clipping. So when we have an object that is being rendered as an actual object, the clipping doesn't look as good compared to just having a highlight. But I think we can implement this in such a way that we can flip between the two pretty easily. I hate this. That we get some clipping there as well. But anyway. The biggest problem with this, or what I think will be the most difficult task concerning this, is even though we create a duplication of an item or a dumb item, we need everything to be handled. Like, we want to obscure this in a good way so that the other actions are not affected by it. So my question is, action interaction place. Yeah, now when I think about it, we want to create the copy inside of this one, I think. And we just want to copy. Is that how we want to do it? Yes. We just want to copy. We don't need any colliders or anything like that. Oh, we can make this very nice, I think. We just copy the mesh renderer and mesh filter. I wonder how it will look if we're trying to place something that has a skinned mesh renderer. Because then we have skin mesh renderer. Then we just want to copy this one. But here we want to copy these two. Action interactable place. Let's do current point, endpoint, offset distance. Offset we're gonna use here, okay. So let's do private game object. Interactable place dummy. Make copy of component. Yes, sir. Reflection API. System type original get type component copy. There should be another way. I would have hoped, at least. No. I was hoping this would be a little bit easier. Editor. Okay, so are we actually gonna have to do something like this? Let's see. Mm-hmm. Like, instantiate was what I initially planned on using, so we just instantiate on this one. But then we're gonna get a lot of stuff we don't really want. And we know specifically what we want. We want to copy the mesh renderer and mesh filter if those two exist. Otherwise, we want to copy skinned mesh renderer. And then we want to copy all variables pretty much. So I wonder if we can do mesh filter Unity. I mean, we could create a new mesh filter and then just copy the things we need here, but I wonder if we can do... Yeah. We just do this. Ah, beautiful. So much like we do in... Is it terrain base? Okay, we do it like this now. Previously we did it in another way, but that's... Okay. Let's see what happens if we do it like this. Interactable place, create interactable place dummy. We need to instantiate it. Or is it just... name, and then we have components. That's pretty cool, but I think we're just gonna do this right now. That is true. Okay, one sec. This might not be as simple as this. Because we might have very complicated objects. Pair consists of... It might not only be one renderer, but multiple ones. So we need to take that into account. Yeah, instantiating it and copying probably. Wonder how much time it's gonna take, and maybe then we can go through it and remove stuff, but that also feels a little bit over the top. Yo, what's up, Gerald? Happy Friday, happy Friday. We pretty much want to do... We want to do a selective copy, pretty much. Instantiate Unity. Okay, could we do something like this? We could also... Basically, this, we just want to do a rendering trick here, so we don't need to duplicate any logic-based objects. We just want to take these meshes and render them. Do we want to do some command buffer shit here? We could do... This time around, I hate that this one is implemented in such an optimized way. So our highlight texture, which we use to, we render some data to it and then we highlight based on that data. This one only exists during the very moment we do highlight render pass. So we can't dynamically fill it up during the scene or during the frame lifetime. Smartest way to go about this. Because if we could fill it up dynamically, we could rely on we could rely on this one. Or just this one. Oh, it would be so nice. So just go through the placeable objects renderers and render them. And then of course we would need we would have set render target beforehand, where this RT is the highlight texture. But yeah, I don't want to alter the highlight render feature in such a way that we need to do it like this. But now when I think about it, we would still need... Yeah, we still need to change the transformation based on a lot of different parameters. So for instance, we pick it up, we hold it. We're gonna have one copy which is being held here, and one copy that is being placed. So it would have been calculating a lot of different transform matrices either way. So maybe it's just easier to rely on transform. Okay, so when we create this one, we want to duplicate... do we want to do this in some recursive fashion? Because we don't know how complicated these objects might become. Very specific. Yes. Oh yeah, we definitely want to avoid this. Damn. Yeah, that's rough. I want to do that. Yeah, I'm wondering if we want to implement this method ourselves. So we want to transform and renderers. So we can implement a method do we have? But do we get the children's children included here? Hmm. Guess we're gonna have to do it in some way. Can we go through? If we just go through all of them, get child. We want to keep the transfer, the hierarchy exactly as it is. Let's double check this one. Child count 2. Okay, this is beautiful. Okay, then we can use it. We're gonna do some recursive stuff. Let's see here. So this one we get 2 points. It's these two. So then we just copy we create a game object and copy the transform pretty much. And then we go through these. Yeah, it might take some time depending on how. But I guess that's our best bet. Okay, let's see here. What do we have? MISC. We're gonna do something very similar to, we're gonna do an extension, I think. Math extension, I wanna check. What did we have? Game object. Instantiate. Or actually I want to see game object constructors. Here we go. Params type components. Type of rigid body. Can we do game object dot get component, string type, system type. Okay, beautiful. That's this one, right? Type of, I think so. So and we want to do this in some recursive kind of thing. Hopefully we won't get stuck. So basically we're gonna do a method that takes a game object, creates a copy of it, or instantiates a copy of it, but we only copy specific components. That's pretty useful. Probably exist a ton of these, but yeah, we're gonna do our own. Public static game object, copy game object, original, and then we want params type components. It's this one, yeah. Something like that. And we do this. I was like, did I? Oh, it's this one, right? I wonder, can't we just do Unity instantiate? Object inherits from renderer, inherits from components, inherits from object. Yeah, what about, can we just instantiate these? I'm pretty sure we can. Instantiate. So we do object instantiate or mesh renderer dot instantiate. But we work with very we can try. So we do this, and then we do for each type component in included components. And this is, here I wonder if we can do something like this. It would be sick. Copy dot add component. Yeah, we add a new one. That is true. Yes, we're gonna have to use some mirroring. I.e. this. Get type that we already have. Add component type, then we get a copy. System reflection. I'm a little bit reluctant to use this one. Mm. I mean, could be useful. We're gonna do this. We're gonna be a bit more specific, actually. In our copy, we're just gonna do copy or make renderable object copy. I don't want to use reflection and stuff like that. We're just gonna copy exactly what we need. So copy new game object original name copy string, and then we do if copy dot um yeah, so when it gets to this, we might have an additional problem. Because this one renderer, it has a armature. Root bones and stuff like that, but if we're specific as this, I wonder if we can do Placing a skinned mesh renderer. Yeah, we probably want to do that. Has to be a smarter way to do this than copying all of this. It's going to create a lot of duplications. What I worry the most about is when we do this for skinned mesh renderers. Or we could do... Gerald, I'm scared. What's scaring you? If we could take the object and temporarily change the render layer. But not with how our highlight implementation works. Duplicating the entire object, it's too much, I think. Something like this would be beautiful. Yeah. Like, I'm just wondering what the hell would happen if we copy skin mesh render. Maybe we can do a simplified. Yeah, we're gonna simplify this quite a lot this time around. We're gonna go through the object. We're gonna find mesh renderer and mesh filter. We're gonna copy those. If we find a skin mesh renderer, we're actually gonna create a mesh filter and mesh render for it. Take the mesh and material. Yeah. So I wonder if we want to do this. Actually, let's just try it with mesh render first of all. So we do mesh render. Oh, we already have that one. So mesh render, then we do copy dot add component mesh renderer. New. do this, and then we do copy mesh renderer dot material is equal to copy material anything else. I don't care about these, I don't think. Like this, original mesh filter. I wonder. Okay, so we do this, copy mesh renderer, copy mesh filter. We must do we have then for each or for this is the part I'm a little bit scared about, but what's up, Cynic, what are we doing this stream? We're polishing the placement system. Gonna make it look a little bit nice, give some feedback to the player and such. Game object dot make. Oops, game. Did you fix the shovel issue? Yes, we did. We're gonna crash this stuff Yeah, we're scared. We can skip this one here. We're doing some recursive stuff here, and then we do copy child.transform.set parent copy dot transform, and world position stays true. Okay, let's try this. Might get a crash, but we'll see. So then interactable place, create interactable place dummy. Game object extension dot make renderable game object copy from this one. Let's see if we crash. Handle interaction. Create interactable place dummy. Beautiful, but did we have... It's probably not that bad of a delay, actually. Still prefab copy, what do we have here? Mesh renderer, colliders copy. Yeah, we copy these even though they are empty. Guess that's okay. Points. Yeah, we could probably optimize this a bit. It's pretty quick. Okay. That is beautiful. We still want to update the transforms of this one, but the thing is... So in update current transform, here we will just change the interactable place dummy position, and we will keep the old one as it is. I wonder if we can just do... Um, if we can just do this. Now I wonder if, yeah, this one is our original. It doesn't follow. This one does. Pretty great, but we can actually place this one as well. Okay, we still want to... So when we start placing this one, we still want this one to continue following us around. Set parent null, enable rigid body false, enable colliders true. This one. But now when I think about it, interactable place dummy, that's the one we want to have in our hand. Or is it? No. But if we want this one to work, we're gonna have to copy the collisions as well, the colliders. Maybe that's a good idea. Yeah, it's the dummy we want to place, because I'm thinking, what if we pick up, I don't know, a creature, a skin mesh renderer, then we want that creature to move around and stuff like that when we're holding it. And we won't get that functionality from the dummy. So this actually makes it a little bit easier, because we're going to create this interactable place dummy here. And we need to get the colliders as well and the rigid body. But then we do it like this, okay. So we don't need to do this. Placement layer, okay. which makes me game object extension. We're gonna make this one might be a bit too specific, so we might just move it over here actually. Create interactable place dummy, because then we can set all of these things while we create it. I think it's good. Yeah, it's much nicer. Okay, before we continue here, I want to do... We're going to commit this as we have it currently. Yo, what's up, Star Platinum? Long time no see. Hope you're doing good. We're currently working on a placement system, basically. We want to be able to pick up a wide variety of stuff and be able to place them in the world. I can probably soon show you how it looks. Okay, before we continue here, I'm just going to commit this current how it currently works. Let's clean it up a bit. A building system. I don't think we're gonna have a building system in this game, but in some ways, yes. It's pretty much like this. We should be able to pick up something like this, and then we should be able to place it wherever we want it, right? So that's what we're currently working on. But before we start with the visual feedback here, I'm just going to commit this, the current implementation of action, interaction, place, interactable place, and action type. So 1 sec. I mean, this place and place system could probably be extended into some sort of build system. Very dynamic. Okay, so I want to add there we have it. What issue is this? 161. Star Platinum seat's very cool, but may I ask if you could place a chair on the wall like that, or you just didn't add an indicator? We haven't added an indicator just yet, but you will. That specific case would still be allowed. It's just that when you place the chair, it will fall down, right? So when you place it, it starts working according to the physics rules. The only scenario where we would add an indicator is if you try to place it while it's intersecting with something. But we're gonna get to the indicator stuff soon. Okay, so now we have it committed, so let's do but some objects shouldn't have physics one place, like a stool, otherwise you will push them around when you walk by. 100%. Yes, we will have it working exactly like it is now. The only time we will add an indicator is if you're trying to place it at a position where it's intersecting with something. Pretty much. But what I want to do now is we're gonna add private game object interactable place dummy, and then we're gonna have private void create interactable place dummy. And yeah, so this is a nice extension and all, but it's going to be very specific for our use case. So I'm just gonna take this one and put it here. We're gonna change it a bit. Create interactable place dummy. What do I want to do? And then we're gonna do some extra stuff here, but let's see if this crashes it. Star Platinum, I may have missed a lot of your streams due to school, but I saw Entity in your direction. Do you use ECS? No, it's our game. It's Entity defined in our game namespace, so it's not the same as ECS. But we will eventually use ECS, I think. But currently, we're not. So if we try and place this one here, we get something like this. Exactly how we want it. And right about here, we would like to have an indicator that you can't place it here. But other than that, it behaves pretty fucking good. Although being able to place it here, we'll see. Yeah, what's up, Bush? Thank you, appreciate it. Just check collision question mark. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do eventually. But we have some other stuff we want to do first. So what I want to do is Star Platinum, the terrain and its collision seems expensive. No, I don't think it is. But what I want to do now is we want to replace this object we do the checking for here. We use the actual object, the entity, when we do this. Instead, we're going to use the dummy object we place. So we need to add some extra stuff here. We need to, any type of collider, we need to copy the colliders as well. But that's also going to be a little bit messy when we have colliders that are triggers and not triggers, but maybe it's okay. We're going to copy the rigid body as well. Totally Serious Productions, good day, good day. Although I'm not entirely sure. We're working on a placement system, which is coming along pretty nicely. So all of this stuff we do, we're not going to do it anymore. Enable colliders, true. Star Platinum, maybe it's not a chair, it's a stool, but aren't you using too many colliders for only a simple object? I don't think so. For the stool, we're using 5 primitive colliders. It's not that heavy. Totally Serious Productions. I've been suffering from my own game so much I thought it'd be funny to watch others suffer. We bleed together indeed. We do. So we want to copy colliders that are not triggers. And we want to copy the rigid body. I wonder how much these help. Actually, I want to try one thing, or this one. Layer mask name. Gerald over on YouTube says, I work on mine while listening to Robin. That's also nice. Totally Serious Productions, what type of game are you making? We're making a, these days I say, creature attraction and management game. So basically think Tamagotchi, Chow Garden, Viva Pinata, if any of those rings a bell. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the best way I can summarize it. How about you? What type of game are you making? That question also goes out to you, Gerald, actually. That sounds so fun, actually. Yeah, it's a game, like Viva Pinata is one of my favorite games of all times. I loved it. Always wanted to play something similar. Modern and similar. Me and a buddy are making an FPS. I'm the artist, animator, and programmer. He's the modeler and texture maker. Oh, nice. Super Chew, good evening, good evening. This limit physics layer here, I wonder how much this one actually... One sec, phone call. Okay, back. Sorry about that. Gerald, songwriting slash recording slash performance sim. Oh, that's pretty interesting. Pretty interesting. And totally serious production. So far, codename Gravedigger. That codename goes pretty hard. We're trying to combine Battlefield 1 large-scale battles and overall World War 1 style of weaponry with deep rock digging mechanics. Sounds pretty sick. I adore World War 1 aesthetics and mechanics as well, actually. Okay, so what did we have here? Yeah, this one, limit physics layer and stuff like that. I don't know if this one actually... Limit physics layer. entity. Nah, I don't think this one matters anymore. We're gonna test it real quick. Because we work with the placement layer. Trying to think in what way it would affect it. No, it doesn't. Okay, that's good. The less things we need to do, the better. This one, however, extremely important. Okay, we just go for enabled here. Okay, that's pretty good. So what I want to do is we want to copy colliders here as well. Mesh renderer, mesh filter. If collider is not equal to null and collider dot is trigger, it's not a trigger. Then we're gonna have to do it like isn't it a type of collider? Original collider, first of all. Yeah, it's type of. Can we do this? No. Okay, this is gonna be rough. It all depends on... Yeah, it actually depends on what do we have. Collider. We want to copy a lot of different stuff here. And that's the problem we have. Depending on what type of collider it is, center size. Are we gonna have to do reflection here anyway? So Platinum, what exactly is the problem though? We're trying to copy an object, but we want to strip it of all unnecessary parts. Pretty much because we want it to behave a little bit differently. So we want to be able to copy a few different colliders. I would love to be able to copy this component. The problem is that we can clone it, but then when we add, I have no idea how you would add copy, add a component. But we're gonna have to do some reflection here anyway. Not a big fan. Maybe it isn't too bad. But that's not always the case. If we have this one, for instance, it has multiple colliders, under colliders, and that's pretty much all we have. But then we have some objects that has the collider not on empty game objects, but on this one, for instance. In fact, maybe it is easier to just copy the whole thing. But it feels like it will be pretty damn unoptimized. But maybe we do want... Oh, is this weird? And then we do this one. I mean, we could do this, and this would work for simple stuff. World position stays true. But as soon as we're gonna have an object that moves around while we're carrying it, that's when I think we're gonna get problems. I mean, this looks pretty nice. If one of these were just outlined, it would be pretty cool. We need to fix the jittering with this one as well while we move around the camera. One of these outline only, the other one we keep like this. We could also, like before we render, we flip the positions of these. So we have a dummy object and we have this entity and we just flip them around. Feels a little bit dirty. But it's one way of doing it. Start placing, drop. Yeah, and for just one frame, we can see the menus are still around this item. I want to fix that as well, but I guess we can do this. Let's see. Alter render pipeline. I want to keep that. Let's just do. We render this one at all times, and in interactable place we do dynamic entity. Let's do rendering layer mask. And whatever. Rendering layer mask. Yeah, we would like to temporarily change this one. But we can do it like this. Interactable place. Mesh renderer. Copy mesh renderer. And then we do rendering layer mask is equal to highlight. Let's see how this looks. So now we change all of the renderers on the dummy object to just be highlight. I need to fix that one someday. So then it would look highlight it all right. rendering layer mask highlight. So why the fuck do we render it? Why do we still render the original? Yes. Rendering. Don't we have? Thought we had this one on camera, but maybe we don't. Renderer. Okay. Rendering layer mask. Yeah, let's take a look at that one. Hmm. Don't we have this for... I thought we could use this for... disable... That's not what I want. Here we have the same. Can I only use rendering layers for lights? That's a little bit weird. Or did we have this one? Okay, we have been using this for a custom render feature and it has been working extremely good. Because in that case we want to render both the original object and the highlight, but we want to do some specific stuff just for the render layer highlight. Unity disable a... Here. Okay, this is unfortunate. Mesh renderer rendering layer mask. All the layers are included by default. I thought we could disable some here, but we do it based on this layers, not rendering layers. But then again, we do have placement layer here. It'll draw outlines, we can fix that. Oh, fuck, can we use that? We have shadow as well. Yeah, that's true. Star Platinum, thank you for dropping by. Yeah, we're doing the indicator. This is actually not... This is actually pretty cool though. Yeah, but not what I want. Okay. I have pretty much relied on being able to play around with these rendering layers. This hurts. Might have to rethink some stuff here. Unfortunately. But let's take a look at something has to be using this one. Renderer. No, not renderer. Well, let's take a look at camera. Oh, this is annoying. But I mean, we could probably use yeah, if we just disable yeah, we disable placement. We disable placement from here. And then we do highlight here. Yeah, but then we don't render it because it's not on the camera. Annoying. Okay, we're gonna bring this task into the next week as well, because I need to run now. This thing with the rendering layers came as a little bit of a surprise to me, and I'm gonna have to rethink a few things on how to continue concerning this one. I know how to solve it, it's just that I want to solve it in a good way, you know. But yeah, that's for next week because I gotta run. But thank you so much for watching, everybody. It went a little bit sideways, but we can manage it. We will fix it next week, Gerald. Thank you so much for watching, everybody, and have a great weekend. Peace.